Sorry guys, my camera keeps shutting down for some reason. I have to figure it out. It's fully charged, but it keeps shutting down on me. So also back in stock are the 1-up shads in baby bass, right? Teal and Walsh had an 81 centimeter on the 4-inch version, so those are in the shop now. Okay. Well, they're not now, but they're going in today. We got some old favorites as well. Remember, we have the spindleworm in white in 5-inch. We also got some new creature baits, the Nico Craw. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll see the lads from Ultimate Fishing reviewing it and just how effective it is. So that's really it. We're going to try and get the rest of the tackle wave order online today. So that's a lot of Pukachavs and stuff. More chappies, Suzukes, more Komomos, hound glides in different colours. So there's just a whole range of stuff to go up online yet. The other thing is, on the way are a bunch of lures for trout and sea trout fishermen, right? Because I'm doing quite a bit of trout fishing up on Loch Sheelan there with Mr. Pike, Gabby. He's absolutely brilliant guide. He's just fantastic. I can't recommend him highly enough. He's amazing. He fishes from a boat there. It's a great name, Refuse to Blank. But this bait here, I am not joking you. I will never forget the day I fished with Pat. Like, we went to a spot and you could see the bass on the sonar, and I was trying to figure out what he was doing, and literally every drop he would just go, oh, fish on, oh, and he'd be into one, and I was so frustrated. I was like, how in the name of sweet Jesus is he doing it, you know? But I figured it out afterwards anyway. But he took me out then, out to the front of Cork Harbour there to a certain spot, and we did a bit of live baiting, and I was fishing a Tenaroo Super Mix 240 or 270 even. I think it was a 270. Yeah, it was a 270. We let the floats off the back of the boat. Well, we caught a few small pollock for bait. We got one pollock, it was about a pound or so. And I thought, ah, Jesus, Pat, you can't use that, that's too big. And he said, not at all. He said, put that on. He said, they'll come up for that. And so we were fishing over massive big kelp beds, you know. And I thought, it's wasting my time. So anyway, I stuck it on anyway, just to keep him happy, because it was his boat and everything else. Thought, this guy's a lunatic. And I floated the bait off the back of the boat. It wasn't out there 5 minutes, but the float went down, and I struck into a fish, and I could not stop that fish. I just couldn't stop it, and my drag was set tight, like, and it buried itself in the kelp. I mean, we did everything. To this day, I still believe it's the biggest bass I've ever hooked, and we did everything we could to move that, and eventually I broke off in the fish. Now one has to hope that it dropped the hooks. I'm sure it did. They were barbless, so I'd crushed the barbs on the hooks. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure that the fish survived. But that there, lads, I think is going to be an absolute winner. I mean, it just has it all, right? It's got the fat body, skinny tail. It's really durable, right? It's got a good casting weight. So I'm just trying to find the weight on it. It's the Versa shad. It doesn't give the weight, it just gives the length, 5 inch. There you go. Versa shad from Duo. I think that is going to be an absolute killer. I mean, I think a slow retrieve in the night time, that's going to be hard to beat. That's going to leave the spindleworm in the halfpenny place, because it's got a much bigger and a more realistic profile. Like, fish are not, you know, like, that's a sand eel style profile, right? That's the spindleworm in 5 inch. You can see now it's quite a soft bait as well, right? So they don't last either. They get trashed after a couple of fish. These, on the other hand, right? I mean, that little real goby or whatever, it's just perfect. And the guys who are backdooring baits, they haven't a chance of getting their hands on that kind of stuff. They just don't. They'll get you fluorescent pink and all sorts of shite colours that you can just forget about using. Right? That craw is doing incredibly well for the French guys. So yeah, so that's it for this morning, guys. I have to fly into the doctor, but my health is vastly improved. So if you're looking for guiding, I'm fishing today, I'm fishing tomorrow, I'll be fishing the day after. I'm having no problems whatsoever. So we're back full on, full tilt guiding. If you want night guiding, day guiding, whatever it is you're after, give me a shout and we'll work out what best suits you. You know, I'll work around your needs. You know, if you're not able for the rocks and we can fish the beach, etc. So it's inclusive, right? But if you're able to hop the rocks and all the rest, well, then we'll fish other marks that are a bit less accessible. But by the time I'm finished putting everything up online, we're going to have one hell of a shop for bass fishermen. And now we're expanding a bit out into sea trout and trout as well. We'll have some really high quality 10-pound fluorocarbon coming in. And remember, the two most important things that you put in the water, one is your bait and the other is the fluorocarbon. Everything else is, you know, like, you could give me any kind of a rod, and as long as I can cast the bait out there, you know, and it's on high quality fluorocarbon, I can catch bass on it, right? Now, it might not be as pleasurable as using the likes of the Mark Cowling custom sea bass that the guys in Tackle Wave were kind enough to send me. I mean, it is just an amazing rod to fish with. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, it's a different experience to the favorite rods, right? I love the favorite rods, but they're less, they're not as flashy, right? But I love the cork handle and everything. But having said that, I also love the favorite rods. I'm not saying buy Major Craft over favorite. You know, everybody has their preference, right? You buy what suits you. But what I am saying is that there will be a wider variety of stuff available in the shop, right? So that's a good thing. So we'll leave it there for this morning, guys. Thanks a million for all your support and for your custom, obviously. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon, tight lines.